Good afternoon, everyone. It is my pleasure to be able to join you today to talk about the 2024 AMCHP Call for Nominations webinar. We wanted to start today by giving you a few testimonials so that you can see how much of an impact these awards make on people and on our colleagues. So I'm gonna start off with the first one. And this was to Terrence Moore. Dear Mr. Moore, I am delighted and honored to be selected to receive this year's John McQueen Lecture Award during the annual AMCHP conference. It has been my life's work through research to pursue the elimination of racially disparate adverse pregnancy and maternal outcomes and to advance healthy maternal and birth outcomes for everyone. Maternal mental health is a critical element for assuring the well-being of mothers and babies and the context of stress, inclusive of lived experiences of racial and gender discrimination. Resilience and resistance provides a pathway for ameliorating adverse outcomes. Once again, I am deeply honored by this recognition of the work. And this second testimonial, these are anonymous, by the way, but the second testimonial was written to Nikisha, Terrence, our MCH colleague, and this person was from Region 9, so all of Region 9. I am deeply humbled by this nomination and recognition, as I am sure there are many MCH colleagues who are well deserving of this award. I love what I do, but above all, I love who I do it for: women and children, including children and youth with special healthcare needs. It is an honor for me to serve our community in this capacity, and I am privileged to be part of a national family who prioritizes healthcare for women and children across the country. It's the third testimonial. Good afternoon. Wow. Thank you so much. This is an honor to receive, and it was a very pleasant surprise. I was already very excited to be able to attend the annual conference in person for the very first time, and this makes it even better. I have really appreciated the support and guidance I have received from AMCHP as the Adolescent Health Coordinator, and look forward to meeting you all in person. This is why we love to recognize our community with awards. And we are delighted to be here today to walk you through some of the nomination and selection process. Next slide, please. So as you all already may know, my name is Marcus Allen, and I'm President-elect of AMCHP and Chair of AMCHP's Governance Committee. I am joined today by my AMCHP colleagues, Nikisha Ogletree, Chief Operating Officer, Carolyn Stamfo, Chief Strategy and Program Officer. This is our first ever awards launch webinar. We felt called this year to highlight the awards, the nomination and selection process, and past awardees in the hopes of encouraging more AMCHP members to submit nominations to recognize the amazing work that you all are doing each and every day. Next slide, please. So the call for nominations is open now for the following: the Vince Hutchins Leadership Award, the John McQueen Lecture Award, and the Merrill McPherson Family Leadership Award. The Excellence in State MCH Leadership Award, the Emerging MCH Professional Award, and the Ryan Colburn Scholarship Award. AMCHP recognizes a few other awards at the annual conference, including Legislative Champions, Innovation Hub, and a new Health Equity Award, which I'm excited about. These awards have a separate nomination process that we will not go over today. Next slide. So our awards are made annually from a pool of nominations that are solicited nationwide. So you can visit the link that you see in the first bullet point for more information on awards and the forms for submission. Nominations will close and all materials must be submitted to awards@amchp.org by January 12th, 2024. Committees review all nominations and submit recommendations for consideration by the Board of Directors. Nominees are notified of the final status of their submission approximately 2 months prior to our annual conference. Next slide, please. Yes. To submit a nomination, you will complete the nomination form, which includes information about the nominee. We ask for a brief narrative in support of the nomination. This should be no more than about 3 pages. Self-nominations are accepted. And we ask that if you self-nominate, that you share 2 references with us, and we will contact them with some questions. New for this year, we are also accepting video and audio submissions. Stay tuned for updates on how to submit those to us at AMCHP. Now I'm going to turn things over to Nikisha to introduce the first set of our awards.
Thank you so much, Marcus, and I'm happy to just share a little bit about the history of some of these awards. In 1998, AMCHP launched what was then called the AMCHP Leadership Award to recognize outstanding individuals, living or deceased, whose work has contributed to significant societal changes that have resulted in improvements in the health of American families and their various members. In 2001, AMCHP renamed the Leadership Award to Dr. Vince Hutchins, a beloved national leader who led the development of new initiatives for children and families, such as the Healthy Mothers and Healthy Babies Coalition. In honor of Vince Hutchins, this award continues to recognize leadership in promoting a society responsive to the needs of women, children, youth, and families. Next slide, please. In 1988, AMCHP established an annual lectureship to honor one of the most distinguished members, John C. McQueen, the former director of the Iowa Child Health Specialty Clinics, the state's program for children with special healthcare needs. A pediatric neurologist, John C. McQueen has achieved success at state and national levels. As an administrator, clinician, advocate, innovator, and educator, Dr. McQueen made his presence felt throughout the country through his tireless work on behalf of children with special healthcare needs. In honor of Dr. McQueen, this award and lectureship continue to recognize innovation in the field by honoring an individual who has made an exemplary contribution to maternal and child health issues. And as seen on this slide, the winner of this award is asked to deliver a dynamic and inspirational lecture to the MCH community via video recording. Next slide, please. All right, the Excellence in State MCH Leadership Award. In 2012, this award was created to recognize an astounding state MCH professional whose career in MCH has made significant contributions to their state's MCH program, state maternal and child health outcomes, and made other significant contributions to promoting and protecting the health of women, children, and families in their state. The awardee is an effective MCH leader exhibiting competency in many, if not all, MCH leadership competencies. The recipient of this award has demonstrated excellence in relevant MCH leadership competency areas, and just putting in a plug that the link to the MCH leadership competencies is on our website. Next slide, please. Merle McPherson Family Leadership Award. In 2008, the Merle McPherson Family Leadership Award was developed to honor Dr. Merle McPherson. Dr. McPherson retired from MCHB in January 2007. She left a legacy of leadership and vision for creating a new model of family-centered healthcare delivery for children and youth with special healthcare needs. She also led the way to expand the family-centered care model for children with special healthcare needs internationally. In honor of Dr. McPherson, this award recognizes as exemplary contributions to further family and professional collaboration within the state Title V programs and AMCHP. Next slide, please. All right. Now I am pleased to share a little more about the amazing leaders on this screen that we recognized at the 2023 AMCHP conference held in a hybrid nature in New Orleans and online. Dr. Emily Nather, our Vince Hutchins recipient, for almost 15 years, Emily has collaborated on a variety of projects at the Texas A&M University Public Policy Research Institute in a range of disciplines, including criminal justice, education, and employment. She loves the challenge of coming up with a way to study and solve complex research questions. Dr. Fleda Mass-Jackson, our John C. McQueen awardee, is a scholar, educator, and activist. Dr. Fleda Mass-Jackson is the president of MyJaca LLC, a national research firm and think tank where she is a leader of Save 100 Babies. Dr. Jackson led groundbreaking research on stress and resilience, resulting in the development of a unique racial and gendered stress measure, the Jackson Hoag-Phillips contextualized stress measure, a dissemination intervention model, and an advocacy approach for Black women's health. And our Excellence in State MCH winner, Dr. Vanessa Walker Harris, serves as Director of the Office of Family Health Services at the Virginia Department of Health, where programs focus on nutrition security, chronic disease prevention, and maternal and child health. She most recently served as the Secretary of Health and Human Resources for Governor Ralph Northam and ensured equitable access to high-quality healthcare and social services that promote a healthy Virginia. And finally on the screen, Gina Polamani, our Merle McPherson Family Leadership Awardee. Gina Polamani has been involved in maternal and child health initiatives, specifically children and youth with special healthcare needs, for over 36 years and is the founder of Utah Family Voices. She is a proud mom of 5, 2 of which had complex medical needs due to a rare genetic disorder that was unfortunately terminal. Though Gina retired from full-time employment in 2020, she's still involved in Utah's regional LEND program as faculty and a management team member, as well as a volunteer treasurer and administrator for the nonprofit organization, Legislative Coalition for People with Disabilities. And now I will turn it over to my amazing colleague, Carolyn, to talk about the Emerging MCH Professional Award.
Great, thank you, Nikisha. In 2014, the Emerging, and it was formerly titled the Young MCH Professional Award, was developed to recognize current and future leaders for their significant contributions to their state MCH programs in promoting and protecting the health of women, children, and families in their state and/or region. This award recognizes outstanding state or local MCH professionals. The criteria have changed this year, so they are under age 45 or with less than 10 years of experience, whose work has made a substantial contribution to their state's MCH program, their state's MCH outcomes, or made other significant contributions to promoting and protecting the health of women, children, and families in their state. Our strong desire every year, and especially this year, is to have nominees and winners from every region. We've updated the criteria this year to make sure it's as inclusive as possible when thinking about what emerging means. The criteria are now 45 years or younger, or with less than 10 years of experience in their current MCH context. We heard feedback from the field that folks want to be able to acknowledge professionals who maybe came to MCH as their second or third or later career, and so these updates are broader and more inclusive than past years. We wanted to share some past winners of the Emerging MCH Professional Awards from 2023, and these go roughly in regional order. So we had William Arias from Rhode Island, Dr. Dane Da Silva from Virginia, Dr. Ann Odusanya from North Carolina, Sarah Haig from Ohio, Audrey Young from Texas, Dr. Stephanie Radke from Iowa, and then Angie Goodger from Colorado, Ipu Aliapo Unatoa from American Samoa, and Caroline Sedano from Washington State. So I'm going to pass it back to Marcus to talk about our last award.
Thank you, Carolyn. In 2011, AMCHP established the Ryan Colburn Scholarship Award. Ryan Colburn was an amazing young man with varied interests ranging from singing in a choir to sports. He was an avid Auburn and Atlanta Braves fan and played the outfield in Miracle League Baseball. He touched the hearts and lives of all that encountered his contagious personality and unforgettable smile. Ryan also carried a strong message to the disability community, imploring others with disabilities to live life to the fullest. In honor of his life and his affirming message to the disability community, family leader, advocate, and AMCHP member Susan Colburn, the Ryan Colburn Scholarship Award continues to keep alive the work that Ryan had started in the recent years before his passing. Speaking at local and national conferences about growing up with a disability and spreading the message of the importance of living life to the fullest. This year, we wanted to highlight that self-nominations are welcome and encouraged. And we are accepting video and audio submissions in addition to the usual written format. We encourage you to share this call for nominations broadly within your networks. So we're getting to the next slide, please. So we wanted to make sure that we open up the forum to questions We know people often have questions about how to go through the process. So we'll open it up to questions now.
Hey Marcus, this is Ben Pringer from Missouri. How are you?
Good, Ben. How are you?
Good. Hey, so I had some questions. So I haven't really dived into this, but I know that we'll have to submit like a write-up. So what's the format of that? Does it need to be like double space, single space? And maybe I'm overthinking it because I'm currently taking some college classes, but I don't want to overly give you too much to read, but I don't want to not give enough either.
I'm gonna let Carolyn and Nikisha respond too, but I will say I have nominated people before, and the forms I have found do a really good job explaining how to do it. And
Okay,
what
cool.
I did when I nominated, I think the last one I did, I had some questions and I reached out to the person that's listed on the form, and they provided some guidance to make sure that I did it right. But it's not very overwhelming at all. I think it took me maybe about 30 minutes and to complete it and to write my statement. You will more than likely you're going to know the person that you're talking about. So I would encourage you. What I did was I spoke from the heart about her. So speak from the heart, and we definitely do not want this process to be intimidating in any way. Nikisha and Carolyn.
I think you answered that beautifully, Marcus. Thank you so much. I also provided a link to more information about the award categories and just the nomination form. So if you all, have some time, and we'll also send out after this webinar, more information and the links and descriptions for each of the awards.
We had a question in the chat from Carly to share more about the video or audio submission. You gonna take that one, Nikisha?
Sure, thank you, Carly. This is new for us this year. We're asking everyone to submit all of their materials to the awards@amchp.org email address. I will also put that in the chat as well. You can try to submit this to the awards box first. If you, for some reason, experience any challenges, please email that box and someone from the team will get back to you. And what we've done in the past is create a secured Google link or a Microsoft 365 link where you can upload your video and audio submissions that way as well.
Do we have other questions? Please feel comfortable to come off mute if you have additional questions. Okay, I just want to encourage people, and I also want to encourage you to share this information broadly with your networks and your contacts. I actually plan to do that as soon as I get off the call, because I'm thinking my program partners with a lot of organizations across the state when it comes to children and youth with special healthcare needs. And they actually have the relationships in the field. And I want them to know and to feel comfortable in applying and recognizing people in their own regions. It doesn't have to always come from us here in the state central office. So I would encourage you to please share. People in our field deserve to be recognized because this work is really, really hard. It's one of the most rewarding things I've ever done in my life, but it's also hard. And we need to take the time to recognize each other. So Carolyn?
Right. Oh, we have another question in the chat.
Oh, okay.
So for the Emerging Professionals Award, is there one per region that is selected or just a certain number per region? So I can answer that. We're looking for nominations within the region, and there can be multiple nominations, and then we typically accept one awardee per year. We have sometimes done honorable mentions just to recognize all of the people who were nominated. Honestly, we struggle the most with getting one to represent every region. We had 9 out of 10 last year. We're hoping for 10 out of 10 this year. And then I wanted to just make sure that we said out loud that the awards are going to be presented and recognized again in Oakland, California and online. And so if you are interested in the conference at all and are not getting the updates, please go to our website, amchip.org, and go to the conference event page, and you can sign up for the conference newsletter so you'll never miss out on the updates, what's the latest happening with the annual conference. It's December of 2023, but the conference will be here before you know it.
All right.
And
Do we
yeah.
have any other questions before we close out? I think, Carolyn, you have a beautiful video that you want to share before we close out.
Yes, here we go.
I'm extremely honored to be receiving the Merle McPherson Award. I am grateful for the recognition I have received for the many years of work in maternal and child health, because I know that others that have received this award before me are some of my personal heroes. I have faced several challenges from my lived experiences on my way to this point, but each one of them has only strengthened me to make me the person I am. Winning this award would not have been possible without the inspiration I have received from my many mentors and colleagues in AMCHP, AMCHP, Family Voices National, and of course, Utah Title V, CSHCN, and the Utah Parent Center, Utah Family Voices Organization, for whom I have the deepest respect. The remarkable people at these organizations and agencies is from whom I have derived the strength to challenge myself and not give up regardless of the many obstacles, because not only do my children, but all children, youth especially as they transition into adulthood, deserve a system that not only has the healthcare and services that they deserve, but one that doesn't make us fight for it every step of the way. I sincerely thank each one of you, especially those that have been with me from the very beginning. Dr. Fan Tate, Deneen Feist, and those that are unfortunately no longer here. Polly Arango, Josie Wall, and last but in no way least, Julie Beckett, for helping me reach a stage where I can proudly accept this award as a mark of accomplishment. I also promise to continue to make a difference in my own little way, such as continuing to be involved as a block grant reviewer when I can and helping with needed policy changes. Thank you.
There we go.
So as you all can see, these awards really mean a lot, and it's really important that we recognize each other. So I want to just to remind you, nominations are open until January 12th, 2024. If you have any questions or concerns, you need some tips or some advice, please reach out. You can reach out to me because I've written several of them. You can reach out to Carolyn or Nikisha as well. So before we close, I just want to do one last check to see if there are any questions about the process. All right, seeing none, we look forward to receiving all the wonderful awards that we're going to get from our community. Thank you, everyone.